In the winter of 1959, 9 hikers set out on an expedition into the remote, snow-covered Ural Mountains of Soviet Russia. These were experienced mountaineers, adventurers who were no strangers to the harshness of the wilderness, but none of them could have imagined what awaited them in the icy, desolate landscape. By the time their bodies were discovered, it was clear something beyond human comprehension had claimed their lives. The group, led by 23-year-old Igor Dyatlov, consisted of 8 men and 2 women. They were young, fit, and prepared for the journey ahead. On January 27th, they left their final checkpoint and ventured deeper into the snow-covered wilderness, never to return. When they failed to return by their expected date, a search party was dispatched. What they found at the hikers' last camp was beyond disturbing. The group's tent was discovered on the slopes of Kholat Syakhl, known ominously as the Dead Mountain. It was torn open from the inside. Their belongings, including warm clothes and shoes, were left behind, as if they had fled in a sudden, frantic panic. One by one, the bodies were found scattered across the frozen landscape. Some were barefoot, wearing only their underwear, as if they had fled into the freezing night in a mad, disoriented state. Their injuries were even more baffling. While some died of hypothermia, others suffered injuries that defied explanation: crushed skulls, broken ribs, and one body even missing its tongue. What caused the terror that night? Theories range from a deadly avalanche that forced them out of their tent to the influence of supernatural forces. Some even believe it was a Soviet military experiment gone wrong. Yet, none of these theories fully explain the strange injuries, the state of the bodies, or the fear that must have gripped the group in their final moments. Perhaps the most horrifying discovery was that of Lyudmila Dubininaone, of the 2 women in the group. Her body was found kneeling, her mouth open in a silent scream, with her tongue missing. No predator tracks were found nearby, and no clear explanation for the bizarre mutilation was ever given. Even after decades of investigation, the truth remains buried in the snow. To this day, no theory explains all the evidence. Was it a natural disaster, an encounter with unknown forces, or something far darker? The mystery of Dyatlov Pass endures, a haunting reminder that there are still corners of our world where the truth remains elusive and terrifying. The Dyatlov Pass incident remains one of the most chilling and unexplained mysteries in modern history. And while the bodies of the hikers have long since been buried, the questions and the horror live on. What really happened that night? Perhaps we'll never know.